Putting all of that into perspective for our viewers. On that note, we're shifting focus to more developments coming in. We're now learning that during a meeting with Russian Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin, Chinese Premier Li Qiang has called for enhanced cooperation between China and Russia, particularly in energy, agriculture and investment. Li has expressed China's desire to import more Russian agricultural and food products while also urging Russia to ease conditions for Chinese businesses and invest and operate over there. Now, according to local reports, Li's comments reflect China's strategic push to strengthen ties with Russia, especially amid growing geopolitical tensions. Mishustin has meanwhile reaffirmed that bilateral cooperation, particularly in energy, has proven resilient despite external challenges. This meeting comes as Russia continues its war against Ukraine and China faces increasing pressure from the United States and its allies. With us on the broadcast is Mr. Andrew K.P. Leung. He's a strategist focusing on the Chinese economy and policy. Thank you so much for taking out time and speaking to us on NewsX World as we track these very crucial developments. China and Russia, of course, are reaffirming their close strategic ties, but especially in the economic sphere, they're talking about investments, especially in agriculture and energy. We do know that Washington has been applying a lot of pressure in order to curb Russia's energy exports. In light of that, how do you view this particular meeting that is taking place, the reaffirming of these ties and reaffirming not just to maintain but also to increase the trade?
Well, both the Chinese economy and the Russian economy have been tied at the hips, as it were, for many decades, long before the Ukraine war, because the Russia's exports are mainly agricultural products, both foodstuffs as well as fertilizers. And China, of course, has been the world's largest buyer because the China's economy, if China's territory, in spite of its vastness, is very poorly endowed with water. And then there was too much water down south, too little water up north. And then most of the soil remained problematic. So China has been the world's largest agricultural products importer, and Russia, of course, is one of the world's largest and is the largest exporter of fertilizers. So I think that the two economies are intertwined, apart from, of course, a closer partnership on geopolitics. As far as energy is concerned, of course, China also is the world's largest customer, and especially on gas. And then because of the Russian energy export through pipelines that bypass some of the choke points over sea lanes of communication, including the choke points in Malacca Strait and problematic areas through the Red Sea and so on. So I think that on both counts, the two countries are intertwined, and China is continuing to buy more products from Russia, energy products as well as fertilizers. But on the other hand, China is seen to be aiding the war in Ukraine. And of course, China's reliance on fossil fuel has been decreasing because of the share of electricity supply in China, over 50% are now accounted for by green energy, solar power, wind power, and hydroelectric power. So China is could be buying less Russian energy on fossil fuels, but that can be supplemented by more agricultural products. China would not cease buying Russian energy because that would be total recapitulation to the West coercion. Because as I said, China has been buying Russian energy for a long time. But I think that buying less could also send a signal that China is now accommodating part of the West demands. But of course, that can be compensated more by China buying more fertilizers and more foodstuffs from Russia.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, sir, requesting you to stay on with us as we're tracking some other very crucial developments. China now says